and they established an energy source for this particular DNA, for this particular kind of genetic trend. And when they go there, they are not telling some god up there, they are just registering. This is me, I belong to this line, this is my gotra, this is my nakshatra, this is my kula. Means I'm registering my DNA material, I'm saying this is my DNA, do something to me. It is the most scientific way of handling it. These things were very significantly relevant when deities were created in a certain way. When I say deities were created in a certain way, so all this has become one big hodgepodge. It become one big hodgepodge because the culture was created understanding the phenomenal complexity of life. But the instruments and the institutions which were to transmit this from generation to generation got seriously disturbed in the last 1800 years because of invasions and things like that. Otherwise, this is a very sophisticated science. Not everybody went to every temple at one time. There were some temples which were for general well-being where everybody went. But for specific purposes, people went only to their Kula Deivam. Even today, remnants of that are there, people are going, but the Deivam may not be created anymore, understanding the science. So why the Kula Deivam is, today, even if somebody died 100 years ago, they can dig up something and if they found one tiny little bone, they can take it, go to the laboratory, check the DNA, check your DNA and say, this was your grandfather. Yes or no? Even if somebody died 10,000 years ago, if they find a remnant of something, today you can take the mummies in Egypt, which are over 4,000 years old, you can take the DNA of this mummy and trace it down to somebody in Egypt who is right now protesting on the street, that this was Tutankhamun's progeny. Possible. Yes, the science gives you this access. So similarly, we identified, you must understand this is relevant only when everything else was maintained. You know, there's a whole lot of struggle going on in Haryana about the Kap Panchayats, saying that these cousin brothers and cousin sisters should not marry, this is sacrilege. See, I do not know whether they're aware of why they're protesting. But if they're truly aware, you have to respect it. They may be just protesting because you're breaking the norm. But essentially why this was done is, they maintained the genetic track way back. For thousands of years, they maintained the genetic track in their own way. Never mixing it up, never doing anything which will disturb the track so that the progeny comes out well. And not only that, you can create a certain energy which travels through the track. Everybody in your kula need not go to the temple. You go and pray, everybody benefits because all of us is connected. Right now, this will happen. The future of medical science is this, that if they find some pure genetic material, when we say a pure line of genetics, they can do it like this. that they can find something that works for your DNA, just spray it in the air. All the people who have that type of DNA will benefit instantly. Right now they're saying Asians have this kind of DNA and they are more prone to diabetes. Americans have this kind of DNA, they are prone to something else. Aren't they saying this? So if you just add one supplement into the Asian diet or into the American diet or into the European diet, you can change the way people live. This has happened. These things have happened in United States, that they have added certain this thing to as a part of their bread making and everything. Lot of ailments that they were suffering in 40s and 50s are gone in that country because people have that kind of DNA and they're being treated in a certain way unknowingly. The current generation do not even know about it, but it's a part of their bread making, they're taking in certain things and certain things are settled. For example, in 50s, United States has a huge number of cases of diabetes, which India is facing right now. So D3 as a vitamin, they found if you add D3 to those people's diet, their diabetes will go away. They added D3 to the bread making, there's hardly any diabetes in United States. Now it's coming to us, but we eat D3, it will not work the same way for the Asian genetics, we need to find something else. We can tell you what you need to eat. So, they understood this and they maintained this genetic line so strictly and they established an energy source for this particular DNA, for this particular kind of genetic trend. And when they go there, they are not telling some god up there, they are just registering. This is me, I belong to this line, this is my gotra, this is my nakshatra, this is my kula. Means I am registering my DNA material, I am saying this is my DNA, do something to me. It is the most scientific way of handling it. Science gone bad, technology not transferred properly. Today it's all mixed up, so it will not work the same way. If they had maintained those genetic lines, you could make it work like that. But now you fall in love with the girl next door, she could be anything. Your choices have become more important than maintaining those kind of things. I mean, society has changed, so those things have become irrelevant. But when things were maintained like that, it was a very relevant thing. It is a wonderful understanding of life, a fabulous understanding of genetics and how it functions.
This aspect of the deity able to recognize you has been done in many ways. This is done in a very refined, sophisticated way so that it recognizes anybody based on how their energy situations are, where the status of life is right now, what level of evolution, how it is in that sense. But there are other deities which is very common in southern India, which is probably these days lost in north, is we have Kula Devatas or Kula Deivams. That means a particular deity created for a particular kula. Kula means a smaller segment of a caste. So here the genetic map of this kula is kept and the deity is consecrated to serve only that type of genetics. This is why this fight in the villages, any inter-kula marriage or inter-caste marriage means why they're struggling is, then you won't have a god of your own. You will become outcast. Well, that's taken on a social dimension and an ugly forms, that's a different matter. But essentially it is coming from this fundamental understanding because you have created an energy form which takes care of this particular genetic information. If somebody who doesn't belong to that comes, it won't respond. So these things were done in a very scientific way for different purposes. There are many fantastic processes even today, but mostly lost. So it is better to create universal things which are not based on genetics, but based on the evolution of one's energy. That is what we are doing. That is why these new temples, which will not recognize you by genetics, it will not recognize you by your parentage, but will recognize you for what you are right now. So, both these things were done right from ancient times, but most of the temples were done for genetic material because that is what people would fund. They want a specific temple in their town for their clan, so that their well-being, they created those things. A few were created for everybody's well-being, so they were always named differently to make you understand a little bit. Here, let us say there is one Mariamman temple, it will have a prefix name of a particular Kula and then that. But let's say some other temple like let's say Kashi Vishwanath, it's Vishwanath. That means he is for the entire world. He is not recognizing you by your genetics. He is recognizing you by who you are right now in terms of your energy, in terms of your evolution, where you are right now. In that context, Dhyanalinga will not recognize your genetics, he doesn't care whether you came from your mother's womb or dropped from heaven, we don't care. Because we don't think coming out of your mother's womb and dropping from heaven, one is superior to the other. It doesn't matter how you came, how are you right now, that's all that matters.
These were created as a possibility to enhance your faculties in a certain way. So for everybody, we created a deity. You are a businessman, you want to become rich, one kind of deity. You are a creative person, you want to be creative, another kind of deity. You are a spiritual person, another kind of deity. You are a thief, for him also we have a deity, you know. Thieves have their own goddesses and gods who support their thievery. Yes, it is so. If you see traditional, there have been tribes who are culturally thieves, they're very proud of their profession. You know, you've heard of the Pindaris and others.
Yeah.
All these people had their own deities. Without worshipping their deity, they never went on their thievery business because they saw it as a trade. And to support that kind of activity, they had their own deities. Because these are energy forms which were created to facilitate a specific type of activity. So you want to be intellectually brilliant, one kind of deity. You want to be emotionally rich, another kind of deity. For everything we created a deity. These are yantras, these are machines. So if there is a machine, you must know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you think it's junk. That's all that's happened today.
Nobody knows how to use it.
That is because most of the temples are taken by the government. Government clerks are there, no devotee in the temple. Government clerk is running the temple. Some of the police officers in Tamil Nadu are saying, in the media they have said this, that anywhere between 30 to 40% of the main deities in the temples may be sold and fake deities are sitting there. They're saying that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. There's some jewelry that's missing, it comes in the paper.
Jewelry is gone, land is gone. First of all, devotee is gone. A temple without a devotee means we know your intention is to run it down because you did not understand the profoundness of the culture. You thought, this is just like one more religion. This is not religion. This is exploration of human possibility.
INR, worshipped in rural communities, especially among certain castes and clans. INR is a guardian deity deeply rooted in Tamil folklore. Traditionally, he is believed to be the son of Shiva and Vishnu in his female form Mohini. INR is typically depicted riding a white horse, and his temples are often situated on the outskirts of villages, symbolizing his role as a protector. The worship of INR includes grand processions, offering of clay horses and other rituals aimed at ensuring the safety and prosperity of the village. His devotees believe that he patrols the village at night, safeguarding against evil spirits and misfortune. Karuppu Swami, worshipped in various Tamil clans and communities. Karupasamy is a fierce village deity known for his protective nature. Historically, he is considered a manifestation of ancient Dravidian warrior spirit embodying strength and justice. Karupasamy is often depicted with weapons like a sword or a trident, symbolizing his role as a guardian. His shrines are typically simple and open air, and rituals involve offerings such as cigars, alcohol, and meat, reflecting his no-nonsense warrior persona. The worship of Karupasamy often includes dramatic folk performances and fire-walking ceremonies. Khandoba, worshipped by the Dhangar community and other rural clans. Khandoba, also known as Mlasa or Mallana, is a deity associated with pastoral communities, particularly the Dhangars. He is regarded as a form of Shiva and is worshipped as the god of fertility, cattle, and warriors. Historical texts and oral traditions depict Khandoba as a warrior hero who protects his devotees. He is usually shown riding a horse and accompanied by his consorts Mlasa and Banai. Major festivals in his honor, such as Champa Shasti, involve elaborate rituals, music, and dance, celebrating his heroic deeds and his benevolence towards his followers. Goddess Mariamman, worshipped in various Tamil and Kannada speaking communities. Mariamman is a goddess associated with rain and fertility, believed to protect against diseases like smallpox and cholera. Historically, Mariamman is considered a form of the mother goddess with deep roots in the agrarian societies of South India. Her worship involves elaborate rituals including fire walking, where devotees demonstrate their faith and seek her divine intervention. Mariamman temples are focal points for community gatherings, especially during festivals such as the Adi and Panguni months, where rituals and offerings are made to ensure good health and abundant harvest. Pochamma, worshipped in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana by various rural communities and castes. Pochamma, also known as Polaramma, is a village goddess revered as a protector against disease and evil spirits. Historically, her worship is linked to the agrarian lifestyle of rural communities in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Pochamma is believed to have the power to cure diseases and protect villages from epidemics. Shrines dedicated to Pochamma are usually found at the outskirts of villages, and her festivals involve animal sacrifices, community feasts, and traditional music and dance. The worship of Pochamma reflects the deep connection between the community and the local environment, seeking divine protection and prosperity. These deities reflect the rich and diverse tapestry of local beliefs and practices in India, with each clan or community having its unique traditions and rituals centered around their worship.